Right, hi guys, just a quick vid. I've been asked a lot of times on Facebook about the tools and that I've got for doing my power carving and things like that. So I thought today I'd just do a quick vid, give you a rundown on the few bits that I've got. I'm in no way a master carver, I'm only new to it, just been doing it a couple of months. So I've been building up some kit and basically just sussing things out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go from the smallest one I've got up to my biggest. I've only got the 3 for a minute. I'm waiting for some more to turn up. But yeah, the first one I've got is this Panamax. I don't know if you can see that. Panamax. It's air powered dentist drill. Great little tool. Ideal for getting in those really little small areas. Not the world's best camera. Focus. No. It's ideal for the very tiny areas. Works on these little burrs. I can make that out anyway. I think it's about 1.3 mil the actual diameter of the shank. That one's a rounded. You can get various shapes as well. This one's a sort of blunted off conical shaped one. I must invest in a better camera. But yeah, it's just a conical shaped one with the tips being sort of flattened out. And I've got a inline regulator for the amount of air pressure that it requires. But yeah, that one runs off of the compressor. You can change the heads and that if you want. All in all, I think that one, the actual handpiece, cost me about 40 quid online, and then I had to pay a separate 18 quid for the air hose. Then I had to buy these bits separate and the little burrs separate. But like I say, it's great if you're doing like relief carving and you want to do undercuts, things like that. It's brilliant for that. But it's also very limited, I think. It's okay if you want to do things like piercing and that sort of thing. So yeah, that's that one, and I'll get the other one out. Okay, so this is the second machine. It's actually one of the first ones of these that I've got. I actually had one before, but I used it so much I wore the brushes out, and now unfortunately the flexi drive's starting to wear out as well, so I've got another one of them on order. Anyone actually starting power carving, I would recommend that they get something like this. Most people have got a Dremel. I'm a bit too cheap for that, so I've got one of these in a kit. The original one, which was the kit that came with the flexi drive, was about 40 quid, and it came with a whole array of various bits and burrs and cutting discs and Lord knows what. I don't use half of it, but this is an ideal starter unit for anybody. I'm actually going to be buying one for my daughter for her birthday in March, to get her into carving and the likes of. Ideal little unit. It's mains, so it's an electric unit. You can get up to, I think it's 30,000 RPMs on this one, but it's only a 130 watt motor, so it's not exactly got as much welly as you'd like if you're doing some of the larger jobs. But if you're doing small things like pendants or a bit of relief carving, things like that, it's ideal. You can take the flexi drive off and just use it by hand and put the burrs into the collet, but I simply prefer everything with the flexi drive. The flexi drive itself, dead easy and comfortable to use. You can get quite close to your work, so that's not a bother, nice and easy. Again, it accepts up to, I think it's about 3 or 3.5 millimeter diameter shank on the burrs, but this is probably about the most versatile machine that you can get. I've got a bigger one which I'll show you in a minute, but even with the bigger one as well, I still come back to this one to get in there for some of the finer detail. And the big one's mainly, I think, for hogging out large amounts, because even on its slowest speed it's way too much power, it's got too much speed, too much torque, but I'll get to that one in a minute. But for a starter kit, I would recommend sourcing yourself one of these. This is just a cheap one I got from the supermarket. They had a promotion on. Again, it came in a kit with a load of bits, or burrs as you might want to call it. I'll show you the burrs and that in a minute. But yeah, brilliant little machine. Any attachment you want you can get. I've actually got a new attachment coming in the post at the moment, which is to make this into actual mini router. So that's going to be good for doing little stall signs and all sorts of different jobs that I want to do. So yeah, ideal starter kit. See how you get on with it. If you don't like doing carving, that sort of thing, you've not lost a lot of money. It's also a useful tool because it's also a miniature drill, so it's good from that point of view. Brushes are easy to change, they're either side. Just unplug it, unscrew these, change the brushes, put them back together, off you go again. Like I say, I've had the original one of these. I had it for about 2 years doing my pipes and things, which most of you have probably seen. And I was using it daily for hours on end of the day. So for the sake of 40 quid, and that is including the bits, you can actually buy this unit, just the unit on its own. I think they start off with about 16 quid on eBay. So good little starter kit, brilliant. Okay, this is the last one I've got at the moment. I call this my big machine. Trust me, the amount of torque in this thing, you could pull a truck out of a ditch. It's really got some power. When it wants to dig in, there's not a lot you can do to stop it. I've had these burrs, they've dug into me more than once, where it's just taken off on me, and the only thing you can do is pull away from the work. But again, not very expensive. I haven't got a lot of money to throw around. When I first started out with looking into this carving thing, excuse me, everyone was shouting about the Fordham this and the Fordham that, and you should get a Fordham as your first tool. Cobblers. I think this has got just as much power as the Fordham. Like I say, you can pull a truck out of a ditch with it. The other good things with this one is parts. You can get every cog and screw, you can get replacement parts, not a problem, on the internet, cheap. This whole unit, I think I paid 40 odd quid, and that was for the unit and the flexi drive. No, tell a lie, it was 50 quid just under, and that was for the unit and the flexi drive. And the good thing about these flexi drives is, and again I've got another one en route, is they're interchangeable. You can just pull this one off and put on another one if you've got another one preloaded with a burr that you'd actually use a bit more often. Me personally, I'm quite happy changing them. So what I've got is I've got one of these coming, but it's actually a pneumatic chisel. So instead of having to chap away at your wood with a hammer and a gouge, the machine does it for you. It reciprocates in that, and you can just carve away. You can get bigger machines. I've actually got one, but I can't get on with it. It's too bulky. So yeah, I've got one of them en route at the moment. Again, it's just like a little one. It's just that it's got a hell of a lot more torque. You can get up to 38,000 RPMs on this one, and it still keeps the same amount of torque again. Like I say, it's an extremely powerful machine. There are bigger versions. One of the good things, if I just get the chuck key, I'll show you. Now, one of the good things is, if you don't want to lob out too much money, you can actually take the flexi drive off, and put that straight into your normal electric drill, the one that you use for all your DIY work, and it'll work just the same. So if you've got a really powerful electric hand drill, just hang it up somewhere or attach it somewhere static so it's not going to constantly bounce around, and this thing will work exactly the same as it would in this. Basically all this is it's a hand drill but without the handle and the trigger. It's just a simple on and off, and like I say, it's variable speed. And that has certainly got some power when it gets going. It doesn't look it at the moment, it's not doing any work, but that one has. Again, changing the brushes dead easy, one out, one out. There's no real mark on it, it just says something Japanese professional, straight off of Amazon. I think I've got that. Blinding machine, I've actually got another one coming at the moment, not the same as this because this one's got too much power, and sometimes the last one I showed you hasn't quite got enough, so I've ordered myself one that's sort of in the middle. Like I say, I'm no expert at this, I've never even tried to ford them, but I think between the range of them that I'm actually accumulating at the moment, I can cover just about any job anyway. So yeah, again, good machine, not for the starter, definitely not for a starter kit. The all-in-one 40 quidder I would say would be your better ideal for the starter kit. Get it with the flexi drive, you get everything you need. You get a selection of burrs, you can cut glass, you can engrave glass, you can cut woods, carve woods, plastics, aluminiums, all sorts of jobs. It's one of those things that once you've got one, you wondered how you got on without it. So yeah, that's the three I've got at the moment. I'll probably update this video in a couple of weeks once my new toys have turned up, and I'll give you a run through of those as well. But the main reason I was doing this video, like I said, was a lot of people have asked me as a beginner, what kit should I get? Well, I didn't know myself, so these are the ones that I've been getting. And I've got a self-paying hobby, I've got other interests going on for paying for other bills. So I reinvest what little bit of money I make back into my hobby, and this is what I've accumulated, so it shows what you can do. Anyway, I'll put these ones away and I'll get the birds out. I'll run you through some of the birds that I've got. Again, I've still got some more coming. Wait for after the Christmas sales, it helps. And I'll be right back. Okay, nitty gritty end. Right, these are some of the birds that I've collected up so far. I wasn't sure what the differences were between different types and makes and shapes, sizes, etc. So over the past months, if I get an extra couple of quid, I'll get a few more. Some of these are great, some of them wasn't worth me taking the time looking for them on the net, and some of them came with the kits that I originally bought with the small blue machine. But on the whole, they seem to cover most jobs. The prices range from, you know, sort of 99p up to about 5 or 7 quid each. Them ones being these two here, that one and that one, which I originally got in. No, you can't snap a camera. I originally bought these in for doing some of the finer detail, the undercutting and that. They work, they're great. I've not got a problem with them. Very limited for their usage. Again, like I say, they cost me an arm and a leg for what they are, because of the fact that they are proper Dremel. So the Dremel pieces will fit the small machine, well, and the bigger machine. Difference being is with the bigger machine it only takes, let me start again. with the bigger machine, it can take these larger shanked burrs. Now these are 6mm shanks, which are great, but you can't use them on the smaller machine. But then I only use these for really hogging out large amounts of material anyway. And I've got the full range, goes from 1 up to 6, and some of the half measures in between. Some of these other ones I got in because you had things like cobalt steel and carbide steel, HSS steel, and I thought, well, which one cuts best? And I couldn't really find anything on YouTube that actually told me. So the easiest way would be to get them all and try them. So yeah, the cobalt and the HSS, there's no difference. There's a little bit in it in price difference, but actual workability, there's no real difference. If there is any, I would say this coating probably dulls up the edge a little bit on the so-called cobalt. So like that, you're better off just going straight for the HSS. Works great, cuts great, can be a little bit vicious, but they do the job. As you can see, I use all of them virtually all the time, but it's down to personal choice. Personally, I recommend HSS from now on. The carbide, they seem to be rather dull as well in comparison to the HSS. Obviously the difference being with the carbide, they will stay with an edge longer than the HSS, so 6 2/3 on that one. A lot of these, like I say, I got actually with the first kit I ever bought, with the first little flexi drive. I didn't know what they were or what they do or anything, and you get a whole range. I built up some more over the time. Little brushes, that's a little wire one, little nylon one, little saw blade that I've modified. It wasn't man enough. I've since bought some more. These I got from Action. Cost me $2.99 for a pack of 5, whereas if you look on likes of eBay, it was something like $1.99 for 1. So you need to shop about. You get various types for doing different jobs. The little conical ones here, they're great if you're carving out a rose or something like that. Round ones, if you're going to get your burrs one by one, I recommend starting off with the round. The two bigger ones, I don't really have a lot of use for that one. That's really not that good. The one I do use most on the round, if I can find it, I'm surprised me if it's still attached to one of the tools. There's that one, which is quite good. I think that one's something like 2mm. There's the camera. It's about 2mm, I think. There's that one, and then there's no, that's a cobalt version. Where's his friend? There's a slightly bigger one as well. It's probably if I put it down somewhere and not put it away. But I've got a slightly bigger one. Oh, there he is. As you can see, there's your 3 sizes. That one and that one are the 2 I mostly use. So don't need to get too big. Depends on what you're doing. But yeah, all good. You got your little drill bits if you're making holes, but very rarely need to do that. What else we got here? Grinding stones, sharpening stones. Good for cutting through glass, that sort of thing, or you know, roughing up a bit of steel. Oh yeah, drum sanders, yeah. Ideal, everyone should have these. I should have 3 different sizes. I haven't actually got any sleeves on this one yet. I mostly use the little one, which is the 1/4 inch and the 1/2 inch. And I find that they seem to cover pretty much anything I'm doing, and the sleeves are dead easy to get straight off the internet. something like $2.99 for 100. So don't go paying shop prices, they're extortionate. And quite often, if you get them off of eBay from Japan, you get a free new drum with it. In actual fact, I think there's 2 came in this pack. So I've already got it out, it could already be on one of them. But yeah, you get free drums with it, so they're good. Yeah, you get little polishers, handy if, like me, you do pipes and that, so they're handy for polishing up the stems or something else you need to clean. Little flap wheels, come in various grits, dead handy as well. They're good. Like I say, I've got some more bits and pieces actually coming. These blades, they're wickedly sharp. They're from Action again, yeah. Action, I've got the 5. They're wickedly sharp. They're a good steel. It's only thin, but it doesn't flex. So I was happy with them. Something like $2.99 for the 5, $1.99, $2.99, something like that. So not overly expensive. None of this is overly expensive, just by building it up in stages. So, and these ones here, like I say, I've got the full kit. These are actually not supposed to be for what I'm using them for. They're actually CNC router burrs. But you stick one of these in that big machine, and I've had these come off of the wood and stabbed me a few times. Trust me, it hurts. But they are sharp. They're sharp, they stay sharp, and they do cut. That'll guarantee. So yeah, that's I think that's probably about the majority of the burrs and that for now. Like I say, the sleeves you can get off the internet will be a lot cheaper than getting half a dozen out of a shop for a £5. So that's a selection of those. Yeah. What I'm doing is I'll just give you a quick idea on how these things work. It's only a quick one. I've scribbled this onto a piece of off-cut that I've got. This is only pine, just waste piece of block. So I've got a straight line, I've got a slight curve, I've got a more wiggly one. Just to give you an idea on how these things actually do it. And I'll start off with me bigger one. And as you can see, I forgot to mention, this is actually a keyed chuck on this one, like your bog basic Jacobs chuck. Whereas the other one, it's a collet with a little spanner. But I'll give you a rough idea on how this one works. And I've got it on the minimum setting, but it's still got more than enough power to pull you if it wants to, so it's all gentle strokes, no real pressure involved. Like I say, it's got to be gentle, because if you wanted, you could really dig it in and just get in on it. It's more than happy to take it, and this is on the slowest of speed, which, like I say, is sometimes still way too much. As you can see, that goes in, well, minimum speed, but it will run away with you at the slightest opportunity. But it is a good machine. It has its uses, like most tools. It's got its uses in the places it's needed. I'm only just chucking this about just to show you how it cuts. But I could really hog this out if I wanted. See. It wouldn't mind doing that at all. It could do that all day, I would have thought. And it could really go in on that, that's not a bother. Whereas with the smaller machine, like I say, it can get up to about 30,000 RPM, whereas the big one can get up to about 38,000 RPM. But this one's still a lot more gentle. Again, what are we at? Let's put this on the low speed. I normally have it on about number 2. I'll show you on the low speed. But again, it's a lot easier to handle. It's like having a fat pen in your hand. They're not so very good for the larger jobs. It will do it. As you can see, it won't just rip it up like the bigger one will. It's a lot more gentle. Like I say, we'll try changing burrs on it. Like I say, this one's done with a spanner, so it's a case of you have a rod in there. I use a little tiny Phillips screwdriver, which is also good for changing the sleeves on these drum sanders. And you have in the kit, you never know when you're going to need a small screwdriver anyway. And that does that. Little spanner just unlocks that. Take that one out. Put that one on one side for a minute. Bring it in there. I'll show you on one of these round ones. Where did I put them? There's one. Show you one of these. The round burrs more your sort of multi-purpose type thing. And they're great for doing lightweight hogging out. We've got down the same line, and I'll show you exactly how this one does it. As you can see, it does quite a tidy job in comparison to the big one. I'll set the speed up a little. Currently running at 2.5, which I normally have it about anyway, so that's fine. Gives you an idea. That just gives you a rough idea as to what's what, and then you get a piece of sandpaper. Quick bit of sandpaper, just dust off the whiskers. Yeah, that'll give you a better idea of what we're looking at. That is basically it. What I'll do on this is at the bottom of the video you're currently watching, I'll put a link to my Facebook page, so if anyone's got any questions, rather than hang around for me to get back on YouTube. I normally check my Facebook a few times per day. So any questions, just whip it up on there and I'll answer it best I can. But like I say, I'm in no way a professional. This is all new to me. I'm just sort of learning and playing as I go. But trying to find things as a beginner, before I started, there wasn't a great deal. Everyone's saying about the Fordham this and the Fordham that. As far as I'm concerned, the Fordham schmuck. There's nothing wrong with this starter one. Just get you powered up. That's all I started with, and then I'll put a photo at the end here of the Phoenix that I've done, which was one of the first things I ever tried with one of these, and I actually ended up selling a good few of them, so I was happy about that. And then that allowed me to progress and buy other tools. So I hope this has been helpful to someone, and like I say, any questions, comments, please leave a message in the message area, and don't forget to subscribe if you like seeing this sort of thing. And if there's other ideas and that you think might be of interest, then just leave a message what you think might be better to put on, and we'll have a look at them. So I hope this works for you, and good luck, and thanks for watching.